Hello everyone, this is Neha Sharma, your English language teacher. Today in this video, we are going to start kinds of sentences. In our previous videos, actually this is the third part of the sentences, and earlier we have learned the definition of sentences, how many parts of the sentences are there, and what are the different structures of different sentences to get the subjects and predicates from there. Means the parts of sentences, how to identify there, that we have done. Today our topic is, it is chapter number 1, sentences, but here we will learn kinds of sentences. So dear students, you have been studying sentences since your class 1st, 2nd. There you have learned the kinds of sentences. So let's revise it once again and let's learn something more about kinds of sentences. So we have 4 kinds of sentences here. Number 1 is assertive sentence, which is given here. Number 2 is imperative sentence. Number 3 is interrogative sentence, and number 4 is exclamatory sentence. Order can be anything, that's not necessary, but first let's do with the assertive sentence. This assertive sentence, as I've told you in the last videos also, this is known as declarative sentence also, and this is known as statements also. Generally, these assertive sentences are used to give the statements, to tell something about someone, or to declare something. So those sentences are known as assertive sentences. Actually, all these kinds of sentences have different structures actually, right? And it is quite easy to identify that the sentence given to us is assertive, interrogative, imperative or exclamatory. Clear? So let's understand this assertive sentence. So there are 4 kinds of sentences: assertive, imperative, interrogative and exclamatory. The first one here I have written is assertive, which is known as declarative and statements also, right? These are the statements, means these are used to give the statements. So this is actually, these are the names, and these statements can be used. So the sentences that state or declare something. Suppose I am saying he is an intelligent boy. So I am stating something about that boy, that he is an intelligent boy. Clear? So this type of sentence is known as assertive sentence. When we talk about the structure of that, how to identify, let's see, these assertive sentences, we require subject first. Okay, and subject, you know, we have done in last videos, this subject can be noun, this can be pronoun. Okay, so this subject is required here, and then what is the next thing? That is verb, right? Subject plus verb. This verb can be helping verb also, this may be main verb also. Let's take the example, he reads. He reads, full stop. So this is a complete sentence. He, subject is also there, verb is also there, and these 2 things are required to be a sentence, right? So he reads is a sentence. If I am writing here, he is reading. He is reading. So this is also a sentence, and this is having subject here and full stop here. So as we have done the features of the sentences earlier, so that is what, the subject should be there, capital letter should be there, full stop should be there, exclamatory sign should be there. So this is actually, he reads is a sentence which is assertive sentence. Now what is the structure of this assertive sentence? Subject is required, helping verb is required, or main verb is required. After that, object is, in some cases, not in all the sentences, okay? If the object is there, so that is also a sentence. If that object is not there, if the complement is all there, so that is also subject. Suppose, what is subject and what is complement? Let's understand. Now he reads, he is reading, that's okay. So another sentence with the complement is, he writes neatly. right? So this he is what? He is subject. Writes is what? That is a verb. And neatly is not object, but that is completing the sentence. That's complement. Okay. So the sentence which is assertive, that requires a subject in the starting and full stop in the end. This is the structure, and the verb is necessary in the sentence. Okay, so he writes neatly. This he is subject, writes is a verb, neatly is a complement. Suppose I am writing he writes a story. So this he is what? Subject, writes is verb, a story is object. But it is not necessary. Suppose I am writing he writes only. So this is also a sentence. So subject and verb. So what we have learnt here, that it is not always necessary object should be there or complement should be there. Only subject and verb can make a sentence. Okay, but if we are using subject, objects or complements in the sentences, so that is not wrong. So here, dear students, we have learnt in assertive sentences that a subject is required in the starting of the sentence. So this is what? Subject and verb is required. So how you will identify this assertive sentence or declarative sentence? If we have subject in the starting and full stop in the end, that is what? That is assertive sentence or declarative sentence. Now this declarative or assertive sentence is also divided into two parts. So what is that? Let's see. Assertive sentence is having two parts. Number one is affirmative or second one is negative. So the affirmative sentences are those sentences which give a positive statement, means which is not having not kind of word, not, never, like negative since they are not giving. So those sentences are called affirmative sentence, means positive sentences are known as affirmative sentences, which are not having not, never with the words the main verbs or the helping verbs, right? Let's see, understand this with the help of example. I go to school daily. I go to school daily. So this I go to school daily is what? It's a simple sentence. So this I go to school daily is a positive sentence because it is not having a negative word. Second is she is watering the plants. This is also a positive sentence. So these type of sentences which are not having a not word or negativity or negative word, those are known as affirmative sentences, right? Second kind of the assertive sentence is negative. So this negative is the sentence which is having a negative word, okay, and that negative word would be replaced will be placed with helping verb. Clear? Like I do not go to school. Here it was I go to school. Clear? And here it is written I do not go to school. So this do not is what? Do is the helping verb here and not is the negative word. And what is that negative sentence? She is not watering the plants. So she is not watering the plants. It is what? Is not, helping verb plus not. So what is the structure of the positive, affirmative sentences? That is what? Subject plus verb plus it may be object or it may be complement or it is not necessary. Suppose I go. So I go is a positive sentence. If I have done I do not go, that is a negative sentence. Clear? So that is whatever I told you in the assertive sentences. But here the format, the structure is I, that is what? Subject plus helping verb plus not plus whatever the verb, main verb is so that you have to do. So this is subject plus helping verb plus not plus main verb. Here she is not watering. Here she is subject, is helping verb, not is plus not, and watering, that is the main verb, and then the plants, that is the object. So clear? This is what kinds of sentences where we have covered number 1, that is assertive sentences. So dear students, please learn it carefully that assertive sentences are also known as declarative sentences. Those sentences are having two kinds. Number 1 is affirmative and second is negative. Clear? The identification is quite easy. The assertive sentences, they start with the subject and end with the full stop, right? But there will be no confusion for the identification in assertive sentences to you. And when we talk about these types, affirmative and negative, that is also same. With the subject they will start and they will end with the full stop, whether it is negative, whether it is affirmative. So let's do the second kind, that is what? Imperative sentence. But before that, let's take the screenshot of this, note down in your notebook, and please learn for your examination. Now let's see the second kind of sentences, that is imperative sentences. So imperative sentences are those sentences, suppose I'll say you, open your book, write neatly, please give me a glass of water, open the window, stay safe, stay healthy. So these sentences which I have used are imperative sentences. The imperative sentences are those sentences which are used to give commands, instructions, they are used to suggest something, to give orders, etc. So what is the definition of interrogative sentences? Imperative sentences. Let's see, and we will also learn that what is the structure of imperative sentences. So the definition is the sentences that give order, instruction, request, advice are called imperative sentences. Okay. Now let's see the examples. I've written some more for you. Have medicine regularly, and in the end there is full stop. Clear? In the starting you have to do this. Have is not helping verb. This is not auxiliary verb. This is what here? This is main verb. Have your medicine regularly. Clear? Second sentence, come here. So this come is what? Once again it is main verb. Third one is please listen to me, because this is a request. So that's why please is written here and listen is written. So this listen is what? Main verb. So what you have noticed that in the end of these all sentences there is a full stop, but in the starting there is a main verb. So the imperative sentences are those sentences which start with a main verb or and they end with the full stop. It's not or and. Okay. Have medicine regularly means main verb should be there in the starting of the sentence and full stop should be there in the end of the sentence. So this is the structure of imperative sentences, and it is quite easy to identify because these sentences are used to give orders, commands, requests, suggestions, etc. And please don't forget, when request is there, so you will write down please here. Okay, so please is not a verb, but we have to start this. It may be like this, listen to me please. Okay, but this generally these please what we have to write down here. It may be listen to me please, so then verb is there. So what we have learned that imperative sentences are those sentences which start with the with the main verb or they end with the full stop. So please take the screenshot of this and note down this in your notebook with the help of examples, and I'll advise you to write down 5 to 6 more sentences of your choice in your notebook where you're noting, so that you will learn accordingly when we are doing this. Okay, so just take the screenshot and then we will learn interrogative sentences, that is kind number 3. Okay, let's come to kind number 3, that is interrogative sentence. So interrogative sentences, as you know very well, that interrogative sentences are used to ask questions. When we have to question someone, we have to use interrogative sentence. Like, what is your name? Which class do you read in? Are you happy at home? Are you enjoying the videos? Are you studying at home? Have you done your homework? Okay, so all these sentences are used to ask the questions. So the sentences which are used to ask the questions are known as interrogative sentences. And it is quite easy to understand because by the end of these sentences there is one question mark. Clear? So here we have learned that assertive sentence, they are having which punctuation mark? Full stop. Imperative sentence, they also are having full stop. Interrogative, that's quite easy. Exclamatory also, that's quite easy because there is a sign of exclamation. So interrogative, sign of interrogation. Clear? Now let's see the definition I have written. The sentences that are used to ask questions are known as interrogative sentences. These interrogative sentences are divided into two parts. Number 1 is yes, no type of questions, and number 2 is WH questions. What do you mean by this yes, no type of questions? Let's understand that. Suppose I am saying, have you finished your tiffin? Are you enjoying the movie? Is your sister crying? These sentences are yes, no type of question. I have asked you a question, have you done your work? What you'll say? Yes, ma'am. So that question, yes, no type of question, that will be answered, that can be answered in yes or no. Clear? So these type of questions are known as yes, no type of questions, which can be answered in yes or no. One more thing, these questions, these sentences begin with the auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also called the helping verbs. And what are those helping verbs? Is, am, are, was, were, has, have, will, shall, many other, right? So these are auxiliary verbs. So what you have learned, that interrogative sentences are of two kinds, and the first one is yes, no type of questions, where a question that can be answered by the words yes and no is known as yes, no type of questions. And the structure is what? We have to write down auxiliary verb in the start. For example, are you watching a horror movie? So that's what. Are is what here? Helping verb, which is known as auxiliary verb 2. Clear? So are. Okay, let's take one more example. Will you go to the park? Question mark. So will is what? Once again, helping verb. And see, both of these questions can be answered with yes and no. Yes or no? Yes. Are you watching a horror movie? You will say yes or no. Will you go to the park? You will say yes or no, whatever you like. Clear? So these sentences, what we have learned, the sentences which can be answered with the words yes and no. Right? Now the second type of these interrogative sentences are WH questions. WH questions are those questions which cannot be answered with yes or no. What is your name? So what you will say? No? I'll not tell you my name. So simply no and yes you will not do. Clear? Where do you live? What you'll say? No or yes? No. So this is what? A question that cannot be answered in yes and no and begin with WH family words. Now let's understand what are those WH family words. When I'll say WH family words, that is what? We have 5 W's, right? When, where, why, and how also can be included. So these words are WH family words. When we will use these words at the start of the sentence and we will use this sentence to ask a question, this is known as WH question type of the interrogative sentences. Clear? Now, please take the screenshot of this, note down in your notebook, and after that we will do the last kind, that is exclamatory sentences. Now let's see the last kind of sentences, and this is exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences are those sentences which help us to express the strong feelings. It may be the sudden admiration, it may be some wonders, it may be shock, it may express shock also. So let's see what is exclamatory sentence. These sentences help us to express strong feelings of surprise, admiration, appreciation, wonder and shock. Suppose I'll say, how beautifully you wrote, how beautifully you explained, right? So this is what? Wow, what a beautiful surprise. This is what? Exclamatory sentence. Now, let's understand this with the help of examples. What a beautiful baby he is. How wonderful the painting is. And in the end, there is exclamatory mark. And in the starting, there is WH family word, that is what or how. But here all WH family words you cannot use. This is what or how you have to use here in the start of exclamatory sentence. But it is not always. But the basic structure is like this. Okay, what or how you have to use. Now the next thing is how you can transform the simple sentences into exclamatory sentences. Suppose the first sentence given to you, this is the simple sentence and you have to change this into exclamatory. It is a beautiful dress. It is a beautiful dress. So what you will do, what a beautiful dress it is, and in the end there will be sign of exclamation. Second one, it was an exciting day. So what you will do, what an exciting day it was. Third sentence, this is tall building. So you will say how tall this building is. Clear? So we can change exclamatory sentences, the simple sentences to exclamatory sentences with the help of 2 words, that is what? One is what and second is how. Okay, so that is, these are the words which you have to keep in mind always. And I want to give you a simple trick here, that where you have to use what and when you have to use how. See, it is a beautiful dress. Clear? With the adjective we have given a and then beautiful dress. It was an exciting day. An is what? Article. And here it is exciting, that is adjective. This is tall building. Adjective is there, but this is not having a or an. So what you have to do, where this a or an is written, it's quite easy and it's a trick for you people, that when there is a or an given to you, you have to use what? Clear? And when there with the adjective it is not given a or n, then in that case you have to use how. So that was quite easy, and with this we have completed kind of sentences. Take the screenshot of this, note down in your notebook and try to find out some more examples, and please solve exercises related to this given in your English of Cordova English for class 7th. And in next video we will meet with the next topic. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy.